Hi everyone, welcome to another book recommendation video. I've got 3 books to share with you today. It's a mix of topics, some nonfiction and a fiction book, so let's get started. First book I have to talk about is Ghost Flames, Life and Death in Hidden War, Korea, 1950 to 1953, by Charles J. Hanley. This seemed appropriate to recommend on Veterans Day. Saying Happy Veterans Day always sounds a little odd, but take a moment to think about what veterans have done for us, and here is what the inside cover of this book says. The war that broke out in Korea on a Sunday morning 70 years ago has come to be recognized as a critical turning point in modern history, as the first great clash of arms of the Cold War, the last conflict between superpowers, the root of a nuclear crisis that grips the world to this day. In this vivid, emotionally compelling, and highly original account, Charles J. Hanley tells the story of the Korean War through the eyes of 20 individuals who lived through it. From a North Korean refugee girl to an American nun, a Chinese general to a Black American prisoner of war, a British journalist to a U.S. Marine hero. And then just a bit about the author. Charles J. Hanley reported from some 100 countries in his 4-decade career at the Associated Press, including coverage of a half-dozen wars. I personally have not had a chance to read this book yet. I know someone who did. They said it was excellent, very intense. So it's one of those books that you might need to set down once in a while and come back to, but he said it was excellent and recommends it. The next book I have is this. It's Waiting for an Echo, The Madness of American Incarceration by Christine Montross, M.D. This book is written by a psychiatrist who does competency evaluations for prisoners. She's quite familiar with the American prison system, so I think a blurb from the cover sums up this book pretty concisely. Capturing both problems and solutions, Dr. Montross takes us all around the globe to give examples of what works, what doesn't, and why. This book should be required reading for all judges, district attorneys, and correctional officers, and that's from Susan Burton, founder and executive director of A New Way of Life Reentry Project. So this was a very interesting book. There is a large notes section at the back and bibliography if you're interested in further reading on the topic. Changing directions to fiction here. The last book I have to recommend is Hench by Natalie, Zina, Walschots. This book, I loved this book. It took about a chapter and a half for me to really get into it, and then I couldn't put it down. So, the basic premise of this book is it's about the henchmen or hench people who work for supervillains, and the story of one, Anna, who her career and experiences. Just to read a bit from the front cover, Anna does boring things for terrible people because even criminals need office help and she needs a job. Working for a monster lurking beneath the surface of the world isn't glamorous, but is it really worse than working for an oil conglomerate or an insurance company? A sharp, witty, modern debut, Hench explores the individual cost of justice through a fascinating mix of millennial office politics, heroism measured through data science, body horror, and a profound misunderstanding of quantum mechanics. This was a really fun book. If you enjoy any of those things, if it sounds appealing, I highly recommend checking it out. So those are the books that I have to recommend today. I hope you enjoy them, and thanks everybody. See you next time.